my name's Alex. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my weight loss journey. I have lost 30 pounds, 30, and I'm very, very proud of myself. But I just wanted to talk about, I guess, the whole journey overall, because it wasn't exactly a linear experience. So if you're interested or want to hear any tips, then keep on watching. So I wanted to start with a backstory. Basically, I've always been, a little heavier than most of my friends. Like, I didn't think I was huge, but they were all like tiny to me, and I was always someone who I feel like stood out in the group. So that's one thing. But initially, when I tried to do this whole weight loss journey, I actually started in 2020, like right before the pandemic. I had started working out like crazy. I was, keeping track of my food and doing all those healthy habits. And the pandemic hit and I gave it all up. Like, I had Popeyes, pizza, those Domino's, pasta stuffed bowls. Those are so good. I still love them. And I just fell right off that bandwagon. And, basically just through the whole pandemic, I ended up yo-yoing back and forth. I would lose 10 pounds, put on 5, then over time put on another 5, and it was just super inconsistent. And I found it to be really, really frustrating, on top of dealing with other stresses during that time. And it wasn't until we were coming into the new year of 2021, and I was thinking, for my birthday, I want to feel confident. I want to feel much healthier than I have been, because I haven't been fully taking care of myself, and I don't feel like that's okay. Everybody has to take care of themselves. Everybody wants to feel confident. Everyone wants to feel pretty. And, I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. I thought I was okay, but I wanted to feel so much better than okay. I wanted to be healthier later in my life, and I thought, now is the time that I am going to change drastically. Something has to change if I want to feel and look different. So I gave myself a challenge. Coming into the new year, I gave myself a few days off to kind of, get into those last minute cravings and snatch up all that yummy food that I knew I was going to try to not completely cut out, but seriously cut down on. And a few days into the new year, I made that resolution that everybody makes to lose weight and keep it off. And
I'd done it before and didn't commit, so nothing happened.
So I made that resolution, and I actually stuck to it. And one of the big motivating factors for me was that I knew I was going on a trip to California for my birthday. My birthday is February 24th. Shout out to the Pisces people. But yeah, so knowing I had this trip coming up, it was the beginning of the year, and if I had to guess, I was weighing about 187. I'll insert some pictures of what that looked like, because I know weight looks different on everybody's body because we're all different. But I wanted to cut it down. I think my original goal was if I could hit like 170 at all, like not even before my birthday, but just at all, that I would have accomplished something. And then it got pushed down to 160, and then it was 155, and it just keeps going down. We always, once we reach a goal or get close to it, we're like, well, where else can we go from here? At least that's how my mind works. I challenged myself, I committed myself, and I was able to lose 13 pounds before my birthday. I was so proud. I could already see a difference in the way that my clothes were fitting. I'd ordered some clothes late 2020, or maybe it was summer 2020. I can't remember. I'll have to look into that. But anyway, I ordered some clothes, and I remember a lot of them fit me, but some of them just didn't. And I was, a little disappointed, but I was partially attributing that to the sizing and how that's not always consistent. But in reality, like, It was just that I was too big for the clothes. Now, I'm not saying that you need to buy clothes that are too small and like try to get yourself to fit into them. But I'm saying if you have something that you already own and you are on a journey to better yourself and you find that what you're doing is working, one of the easiest ways to see that progress is to see how your clothes are fitting, let alone clothes that were too small. Imagine the clothes that fit you originally and then you put them back on and they're a little loose. You might need a belt. They might be slightly too big. In general, if you're losing any weight at all, you're going to see that they're going to be more comfortable than they were originally, especially if originally they were a little bit too small. Like you got the jeans at Target and you were like,
I lose like 5 or 10 pounds, these will be comfy.
yeah, those jeans will actually fit you comfortably now. So I think that's one of the best ways to track stuff. And that's what I did. After that trip, I continued on and my progress kind of slowed a little. I went from losing 12 pounds in a month to like losing 5 or 6 pounds in a month to being stagnant for a month and then losing a little bit more weight. And eventually by April, I had lost 30 pounds. So give or take 3.5 to 4 months is what it took for me. And that was without doing crazy diets or, you know, restricting like all meals to only like whole foods. Like I still had what I wanted to eat. I just tried not to overdo it. And that's slower progress, but it's way more enjoyable. And then you don't end up being overly restrictive. So with that in mind, at this point, I've been maintaining my weight for about 3.5 months. And I've been within a range of 160 to 165 at the top end. Right now, currently sitting at 160. So I'd say my maintenance is definitely working and I'm really glad about that. I still want to lose more, but nothing drastic. Like I don't want to lose another 30 pounds. So yeah, I am very happy with my results. If you'd like any tips, I'm about to get right into those. My first tip is to use a calorie tracker. I used MyFitnessPal. I think it's really great because it works for everything from trying to track your avocado, your fruits and things like that. And also like fast food, like you go to Wendy's and you get some chicken nuggets, like most of that food is saved in their food diary like tracker system. And that's really helpful because at the end of the day, no matter what I ate, I basically just tried to track and or estimate if there was no information on. Like I would just Google it and I would use that to input, let's say, a matcha latte. So I always tracked that stuff because at the end of the day, you have to be in a deficit and deficit equals weight loss. Like that's it. You could eat donuts all day and as long as you're in a deficit, you'll get weight loss. But you won't get the right nutrients to feel full and satisfied throughout the day, so I wouldn't recommend that. But you could, so more power to you. Another thing I recommend is exercise. Now I know we all know this, and I actually do like exercising now, but you never want to do exercise that you hate, because even if you're telling yourself,
Oh, I'm burning all the calories in the world.
like if you're outside running and you hate running, you're going to get worn out from this whole journey. Like you need to do things that you enjoy. You can go for a hike, you can go for walks. I go for walks all the time. Like walking is the easiest way to burn calories. You walk a few miles and you could burn a couple hundred calories like easily. I just went for a 4-mile walk. It took, an hour and a half, but I burned like 450 calories. Like that is so easy. You can literally listen to a podcast, watch YouTube videos, listen to your favorite album, and the options are endless. So yeah, I just mixed up my workouts. I did a bunch of challenges, and most importantly, I still took breaks, because if you don't take breaks, you get injured. I tried a running challenge where I had to run every day for like a month. I think 3 weeks in I had to stop because I have not the best knees. my knees were not happy with me. I can run sometimes, but I've come to the conclusion that running isn't the best for my body because I could physically hurt myself. So yeah, it's not for everybody. Find something that works for you and just stick to that. Have like an accountability partner. Maybe it could be your partner, it could be your friend, it could be a family member, whoever wants to jump in on the weight loss train. It really helps if you're doing it with someone. For me, for a little while, my partner did it, but you know, it's not for everybody, you know? So after a while, I had to sit back and eat my like smaller portioned healthy meals, and he would be eating like Popeyes, and I just kind of had to deal. I still had my Popeyes from time to time, but listen, I couldn't eat like he was eating every day if I wanted to lose weight. So having an accountability partner definitely helps. If they're willing to go to the gym with you, if they're willing to like go out and create your little healthy Chipotle bowls and all that kind of stuff, it's really great because you don't feel like you're alone unless you are at a point where you are like self-sufficient. I feel like starting off, we all have that motivation and it starts to dwindle. And yeah, having a partner helps. If you can, go for it. If not, find that intrinsic motivation. You should watch people's YouTube videos on this stuff. I find that whenever I started to slack off or lose motivation, I would watch other people's weight loss journeys and transformations. I would see them on Instagram, on YouTube, on like all kinds of platforms, and I was like, wow, if they can do that, I can totally lose like another 10 pounds. They lost like 80 pounds. I can lose 10 more. If I focus and put my mind to it, I can do it. It's mostly a mental thing. So yeah, use whatever you can as motivation, and what your dreams and goals are, and keep those in your head, because there are going to be days when you wake up and you're like,
I just don't want to. I'm just not doing it today. It's not happening.
And if you push through those days, you should find some really cool results. Another tip I have is to not cut out any one food. Like I said, I did not cut out junk. I cut it down. I cut it way down. But I didn't cut it out, because if I did, I knew there would be days where I would just break down and want to have that brownie sundae, chocolate chip cookies with cinnamon on them, and you know, just like anything under the sun. So I tried to incorporate those foods into my diet, track them.
You can't lie to yourself and get the results. It just doesn't work that way.
But don't cut those foods out. Just get a smaller portion. You should be fine. Like, I totally did that and it was okay. Like, I definitely had more like cheat meals, not days. If I wanted to get a dessert and not be worried about the calories, I might do that once a week, maybe, and like get that brownie sundae, or get those cinnamon rolls, or the crumble cookies. I was obsessed when I found out about those. I would have those, and they were great. I just limited the amount. You don't want to do it every day. You might not even want to do it every week. But pacing it out at the end of the day matters more, even if your weight loss is slower, because you'll be happier. So keep that in mind. Take progress photos / videos.
Do it, do it, do it.
Please. There were times where I would be tracking my weight on the scale and things wouldn't change too drastically, but I would look at pictures of myself and then I would truly see a difference. When I took video footage of my before and after, I was genuinely surprised. Like, looking in the mirror, I would have thought, oh, you know, I don't really look that different. But when I compare my footage, compare the pictures, wow. Like, I can actually see that I definitely changed something about myself. I definitely take lots of progress videos and photos, because the videos can show you in real time what you were looking like, and the photos are still a good way to track and definitely show where you were in a snapshot. I swear it's one of the only ways I can tell that I've lost weight. Sometimes I don't think I look different at all. But when I look back on my pictures and videos, I'm like, you do. You look different. So yeah, I recommend that for sure. Like, there are plenty of people that can lose weight like this, and there are people that lose weight like you can be either of those people. I personally think it's harder if you lose weight like this to maintain it, because I think it takes time to dedicate yourself to habits that are healthy and routines that work for you. So I wouldn't recommend a quick fix. Make sure you know that you're doing something that's sustainable. You don't want to lose weight quick because you ate like oatmeal for like a week and you lost like 10 or 12 pounds or something, and then you go back to eating normally. It just messes up your metabolism. You don't want to do that. It makes everything so much harder. So at the end of the day, as long as you're consistent, you'll get to the goal that you want. So yeah, don't forget that you are still living your life. Like, you are not living your life only to lose weight, burn calories, and do stuff like that. You've got a life to live. You got friends, you got family, you got special events. I made sure that I still went to and participated in all of those things, even if I couldn't eat perfectly. Because honestly, no one's going to be perfect 24/7. And it's better that you're not, I think, because if you are, you're just going to be in this constant cycle of tracking, and you know your body's going to go through periods of fluctuating anyway. Sometimes your weight will go stagnant, and it's best to not skip out on your life experiences. My last tip is to not forget to practice self-love. And this sounds so corny, but even though I've lost 30 pounds, sometimes I don't feel like I can notice it. You know, you see yourself every day, and you might think my body hasn't changed that much. You know, I definitely had plenty of those days, and I still have lots of insecurities about my body. Even though I've lost the weight, like, that doesn't just disappear because you lost weight. I just find new things to complain about. So, like my arms, like, I am so insecure about my arms. I have like jiggly arm and I have these stretch marks on the front, and they're also on the back, and like, I'm just super uncomfortable with my arms. I've always been uncomfortable, but I didn't think I would feel more uncomfortable with my arms after losing weight than I did before. I feel like the rest of me seems smaller, but my arms still seem beefy. So it's just been, that's been an insecurity, and I've had to practice self-love about it. And it's great to practice it anyway. I feel like me going on this whole journey was to love myself more, because I wasn't treating my body kindly by eating whatever I wanted, because it wouldn't make me feel good on the inside. Overeating, it might taste great at the time, but like later my stomach would be in knots, and I would be so upset that I ate all the food. Make sure you are practicing that self-love, because you're never going to feel fully confident until you've accepted the flaws in yourself that you can't always change. I could lose like 20 or 30 more pounds and still be uncomfortable with my arms. I don't think that's just going to go away. I think I just have to get used to it. Maybe I can try to tone them a little, and that'll help me feel less insecure, but I think that insecurity will always be there. But as long as I love myself and feel confident in my skin and accept my body, I'll be fine. Like, I'm already feeling better. I'm trying to force myself to wear stuff that I didn't used to wear to celebrate my body, because I worked really hard to get to the point that I'm at now. And I'm not even done, but you still gotta celebrate along the way. You gotta like give yourself like a little pat on the back for putting in that work and trying to be the best version of yourself. So, with that all said, thank you for watching, and I hope something that I said was helpful. and I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye. Don't forget to leave comments below, suggestions for new videos, and to subscribe.